Welcome back. Did you know that this weekend was the original date of the annual Leesburg Bike Fest? Now, although the event got changed, Gator Harley Davidson is picking up the torch by sponsoring their very own spring bike rally. Lakefront TV's Cindy Peterson has more.
Gator Harley Davidson in Leesburg is hosting their annual spring bike rally where thousands of bikers will be making their way this weekend. Although the city of Leesburg chose to postpone their own bike fest until November, Gator Harley decided to press forward.
This year's event is pretty much business as usual. We're going to have the same stuff as we had last year, except probably better vendors because a lot of them didn't go downtown. They're here instead. Great music, great bands playing on throughout the weekend, starting today, going through Sunday. What else we got? We got the axe throwing in the back in our warehouse bar. We have axe throwing. We have Beat the Bar, which is a strength competition. If you beat the bar, you get $100.
Also in the back bar, which is called the Gator Hole. We have 3 bars: Gator Hole, Gator Hut, and Gator Swamp. So the Gator Hole, which is in the back, is in the warehouse, and it also has a lounge area in there so you can cool off. And then right outside of there is the food vendors and the ice cream. So everything's right in that little corner back there.
Gator Harley is also doing their part to promote the downtown Leesburg businesses and other great festivals throughout the county, including the Eustis Bike Rally and Music Festival also going on this weekend.
They do this every year, but it's a little bit more low key. So this year they have the Wall of Death down there. They have a car show, and they're having Radical Randy's bike show down there. So they've definitely bumped it up a little bit. And you know, we want everybody to ride Lake County. We know everybody can't just come here, so we want everybody to ride Lake County. And we also are promoting downtown merchants in Leesburg.
Down here, it's all about the music, the food, the bikes, and the fun.
I just love whenever there's a bunch of people around and just welcoming them and the excitement that they bring with them, and just, you know, I'm able to be like, hey, how are you? And they're like, good. And I'm like, well, I'm happy. And then boom, instantly they're smiling and they're just happy to be here, and that's what makes me happy.
The bike rally runs through Sunday evening. For a full schedule of events, check out GatorHarley.com. Reporting for Lakefront TV, I'm Cindy Peterson.
Thanks, Cindy, for that report. The Leesburg Bike Fest is scheduled for later this year. Hey, some good news for one local landmark. It was a lengthy process, but the historic Moat Morris House in Leesburg is almost back to its original glory. A fire heavily damaged the vintage home almost 3 years ago. Wait until you see what it looks like today.
The Moat Morris House in Leesburg is nearing completion on renovations after the February 2018 fire heavily damaged this historic building. In 2019, the city of Leesburg decided to have the house repaired and return it to its original use, a $1.1 million project. More than 3 years later, the house is almost ready for its grand reopening.
Right now we're finishing up. The city has done all the landscaping. We've got all the hardscapes back in. We're just finishing with the stain and the paint inside. And we're going to be going for building final probably Monday.
Evergreen Construction has been working for nearly a year to restore as much of the original structure as possible, salvaging much of the original flooring, walls, handrails, and having to match the existing wood and design for its complete restoration.
I started on May 1st, 2020. It was about 10 months on the build out, on the rebuild portion of it. Previously, we had come in and we had done shoring, and then the architects and engineers come in and they do their scratch test, and they will let us know what needs to be either removed and replaced or reinforced. So they're the ones that determine the structural integrity of the wood beams that were here. We were able to save a lot of the old wood flooring and even the wainscoting that we pulled up. We were able to save it and reuse it in areas that we had to repair flooring. The downstairs bathroom, that flooring was reused. The tower bathroom flooring was reused. And then the flooring that we repaired at the entry was some of the wainscot that we reused, and we just flipped it upside down and refinished it. First damage really was the roof structure. It was completely gone. So then the roof is new all the way up to the front north section. There's 3 rafters here on the front that are original. Other than that, the roof is completely new. All of the trusses have been removed and replaced with new trusses, new 3/4 inch plywood. So the roof structure was really bad. It was a 2x4 previously, and we increased the dimension to a 2x8. So it really wasn't the right size lumber to begin with. So there was a lot of deflection in the original rafters of the roof. But yeah, the roof was probably the worst.
Over the years, the Moat Morris House has become an icon for the city. The Victorian-style home was built in 1892 on West Main Street. It was put on the Historic Registry in 1974, and in 1988, Leesburg residents raised $95,000 to move the home to its current location on Magnolia Street. The home most recently served as the Chamber of Commerce offices.
The most difficult was the icicle fascia trim. We matched that to the original. All this is new. All the icicle fascia trim is new. Romac made it. They routed it by hand. And so we went around and basically made a map of each one of the gable ends and all the different pitches of the roof, and made a map, and kind of just, they made it and labeled everything, and we went around and put it together like a puzzle. One of the other really difficult tasks was this fish scale siding repair on the tower, where we had to cut to install the flashing for the roof. Repairing the fish scale siding was probably the most difficult task on the entire job. So tedious. And they're all nailed by hand with the old little handmade nails, and you have to take a roofing bar and get up there and loosen them, and they're about 20 inches long, each one of them. So it's really difficult.
Evergreen Construction is waiting on a few more supplies to put on the finishing touches, then a grand reopening will be announced. Reporting for Lakefront TV, I'm Cindy Peterson.
When we come back, it's one of the newest local attractions, and it's a place where you can blow off some steam. Check out the Impact Rage Room next.